I'm Ella.
And I'm Kim.
And welcome to the Sustainability Spiral.
Here we are.
Here we are, our first proper episode.
It's official.
It is official. And if you haven't listened to our little intro, which gives a bit of background about us and the pod and why we started it, give it a listen. It will hopefully give you some context for what you're about to listen to,
Yeah.
which is going to be a masterpiece, obviously.
It's so early.
We're recording this in the morning.
Yeah.
In the morning time, which maybe is not the best idea going
We're
forward.
We're sharp and ready for it.
We've had coffee. We're ready to go. So, Kim, what's our first episode going to be about?
In today's episode, we're going to be doing a bit of a recap on 2025. I know we're a little bit late with the 2025 recaps, but better late than never.
I also think, we've had a bit of space from the year now. We've reflected. We've taken some time.
You want to have a bit of distance from the end of the year, I think.
Exactly.
In January, you're like, whoa, thank God that's over. And then looking ahead. But then I feel like we can properly digest what happened last year because it was a bit crackers.
It was a bit crackers. I also saw a great post on LinkedIn the other day that was talking about how February is the perfect month for resolutions because it's like a nice 4-week month. It's short. You've got enough distance from Christmas.
Ideal.
So really, we're timing this quite well.
Right.
I think.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah,
that's good. So yeah, we're gonna have a quick look back at 2025 and talk about some of our wins in the sustainability and climate space.
And the many spirals.
And the many spirals, yeah. What made us spiral up and what made us spiral down.
And then are we going to look ahead to 2026, thinking about what we think this year might hold? More predictions.
Yeah. What's going to make us spiral this year?
Hopefully not a lot. I don't know if my nervous system can take any more this year. But we need it for the pod content.
Yeah.
So keep it coming.
It's true.
Otherwise we're going to run out of things to say.
So I don't know how you felt about 2025.
I think you summed it up pretty well. It was a bit crackers.
Yeah.
I think it's an interesting one for me. Obviously, you've been in this space a bit longer than I have. And I came into it kind of post 2019, where it's felt like for the last few years there's been a lot of momentum. And there's been a lot.
2019, golden era. 2018, 2019 was the shit.
It was a good time.
That was the golden era, I feel. The gold rush on sustainability was piping hot. I feel like everyone was like, ESG? Oh my God, we've got to get 7 sustainability managers into this team. And
get them in.
And everyone was vegan.
Yes. And was it Blue? When did Blue Planet come out? Was it around that time, maybe a bit before?
Yeah, I think maybe that was like 2015, 16.
But there was a real movement.
Yeah.
Amazing David Attenborough documentary. Shout out David Attenborough, you icon.
Yeah.
Please never die.
Plastic straws were out.
Plastic cutlery.
And people loved it. People really loved it. People were behind the sustainability movement and wanted to do small individual actions that it felt like they did add up.
Yeah, for sure. And they do. They definitely, individual action is definitely important. But I think for me working in the space last year felt there's always been challenges working in sustainability. There's always budget challenges. There's always buy-in challenges, trying to persuade people why it's the right thing to do. There's always headcount resource challenges.
Yeah.
But broadly, it felt like everyone agreed that we were doing the right thing and we needed to do something.
Yeah.
Whereas I think for me last year was the first year where it felt like that consensus started to slip.
Yeah.
And that was quite an interesting time working in the space for me and trying to figure out what that challenge looks like.
Yeah, it's so true. Just as you're talking, I'm reflecting on maybe 24, 23. And do you remember that South Pole report that came out? And it was the trend that they were seeing in 2023, 24, I think, was greenwashing. So before that, we obviously had the time of greenwashing where people were making outrageous green claims about using this toothbrush will save the planet. And it's you can't really say those sort of things.
And people do still say that kind of thing.
But kind of moved from this era of greenwashing where people were just saying crazy shit to green hushing, where everyone was a bit scared to say something because it was like, are people going to think that this claim isn't true? Are like the advertising watchdog's going to come for us because of what we say? But also green hushing because like I think people thought, I don't know if people are buying this anymore, and is the general public like as behind the green agenda and sustainability as they were in the golden era of 2018, 2019.
And I think that's what this year has really started to prove, is that maybe people aren't as behind it as we thought they were, or that it's been a challenging few years. There's been a lot going on in the world, in the UK, financially, in the economy, and I think people's capacity for caring about multiple things at once is strained, and I get it. And I think what my big reflection from 2025 is that we need to find a way to like take sustainability forward that doesn't feel like we're like adding to people's burden, but it feels like the solution to lots of problems, which it is, I think.
I don't even know if it's people not caring. I think people still care. I think it's just against the landscape of our political leaders in the world, just full on like climate denial. Everything's so expensive. It's not that it's not caring, it's like not being able to take the action that's needed and being supported by government to do so.
And I think also feeling like a sense of, well, if not them, then why do I? Like, if Trump is going to roll back on all of this stuff, why should I use my reusable coffee cup? But should we talk on some of the specific things that happened in 2025 that we hated, that we spiraled about, or just some of the big things that happened last year? Like, I think there was a lot that went down. It felt like quite a lot of blows back to back.
So 2025 was confirmed as the third warmest year on record, part of the unprecedented 3-year run of an extreme global heat that averaged 1.47 degrees C above pre-industrial levels.
It's getting hot in here, am I right?
Yeah, and not in a good way.
Not in a good way.
So that's fun. Like, we're almost at 1.5.
Yeah, that was quite, I think, an alarming piece of news that came out last year, is that feeling that we've been like fighting for this 1.5 degrees for however long we've been working in this space, and we've always kind of known it was ambitious, and that it maybe wasn't achievable. And I guess to put that in context, like the Paris Agreement is the global agreement between 195 nations to limit global warming well below 2 degrees above pre-industrial levels, and ideally to 1.5 to avoid like catastrophic changes to the climate. And breaching 1.5 doesn't mean that we'll breach it forever. Like, I think what's happening is there's obviously like an overshoot, which we always knew was going to happen. And I think those articles coming out are really saying like, if we don't do the action now, like we will never come back from this, which is scary.
Yeah.
And again, it just reiterates, I think, this point around we don't have a lot of time left.
Yeah.
To do stuff. We just got to get on with it. And we're not. And I think it's like a message of, oh no, but if we do X, Y, and Z, which we need to do anyway. A little bit doom and gloom, but with a bit of positivity. But that was a big spiral of last year, I think.
Yeah. I also think like just running out of the colours for the like codes. Code red, code dark red, like humanity is on the risk of collapse. And I was like, ooh, like I feel like when it's that urgent, because all of the messaging's been so urgent, it almost just like doesn't hit the same way anymore, because it's like everyone's screaming, but you've just like heard the screams now.
I think everyone's like desensitized. And I think climate is now just one of them that people are like, there's been so many messages of like destruction and collapse, to the whole like point around the day after tomorrow in our intro episode, and these like doomsayers that people are like, another one, okay, but we're still here and we're still going, you know. But other things that happened in 2025, I hate to bring this up episode 1 in, but I think we are going to have to talk about T for Trump, not T for Troy.
Donald J. Trump.
And he's in the room with us, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes.
But obviously, when he was elected in 24 and came into power at the start of 25, I think we all knew what that was going to mean for sustainability.
Yeah.
RIP Paris Agreement with USA. RIP the
UN Treaty on Climate Change.
Yes. RIP the Inflation Reduction Act, which was Biden's bill that kind of put a lot of money behind renewable power.
Mm-hmm.
Which on a sidebar, which we will, I'm sure, do many of as we do this podcast, I think calling it an Inflation Reduction Act is very clever. I really appreciate that. I really appreciated that it wasn't called the big renewable power bill or something. It had green motives behind it, but it wasn't, I think, like, to appease a broader audience.
Like, finance.
Exactly.
Yes.
And I think this is what we now have to, like, really get behind, is like, sustainability is no longer going to have the backing of governments, of senior leaders in business, of big parts of the population because it's the right thing to do. It needs to help people save money. It needs to make quality of life better. It needs to, like, support economies, which it does anyway.
Yeah.
I think, like, leading with that message is really important. Anyway, so
amen.
We'll get onto that later. But yeah,
but that went.
R.I.P. that died.
He was just a rolling on back all of the progress.
Drill, baby, drill.
So was Drill Baby Drill in 2025?
I think it was, because he came to power at the start of 25. It's only been a year.
Inauguration.
Can you believe it's only been a year?
I know. I was thinking that the other day. I'd Googled, how long have we got left of this? And then it was like, 3 years, babe.
Depends if he
at least
tries a second or third term even.
I know, yeah. But again, this is not a political podcast. So Drill's Baby Drill came in. I mean, his stance on energy markets and oil, just like burning through those fossil fuels, when that, like, the growth opportunity for the economy of America in terms of renewable power is huge.
100%. And not even just the US, globally.
Yeah.
And I think the impact that the rhetoric around Drill Baby Drill had, even in the UK with North Sea oil and gas licenses, has been a huge topic of conversation last year.
Yeah.
And, you know, historically there's been a lot of oil and gas drilling in the North Sea, and there's been plans to transition that over, and we need to ensure that there is a just transition for people who work in oil and gas at the moment, to make sure they have roles, they're retrained, reskilled, and it doesn't just, like, fuck everyone over. Like, nobody wants that.
Yeah.
And I feel like what Trump and this rhetoric has done is, like, scaremonger around jobs and economies, and that crept in a lot into the UK, I think, last year.
Yeah.
And there was so much chat about, well, we should just drill it for all it's worth.
Yeah.
Because one of the arguments that annoyed me most last year was that it's lower carbon emissions to use North Sea oil and gas than it is to import it, which is factually correct in that if you're not shipping fossil fuels, you save carbon emissions, but it's still
that doesn't have to be the option.
Fuels.
Yeah.
You're still burning the same shit and it still has the same impact no matter where you get it from. And I'm like, guys, can we not? Guys and girls, like, whoever is doing this, anyone out there, if you're trying to argue to me that drilling the North Sea is a sustainable venture, like, please no. Please no.
Yeah.
I cannot.
Also, I don't know if this is just a gross oversimplification, but fossil fuels are finite, everyone. We're going to run out.
What?
And I just keep thinking, we're going to have to do this transition at some point. They're going to run out. So the easiest day to do that is today, and, like, have planning in place to transition, rather than squeeze every drop of oil out of this planet that we've got, fuck it over in the process, and then be like, oh, now we've got no energy.
Oopsie.
We should probably build some wind turbines. It's like, we could have done this 25 years ago.
What's the quote? It's like, today is the cheapest day to start the transition.
Okay, that isn't what I say.
Oh my
Yeah.
God. Sorry, you're just such a big part of my life. But I love that. It's so true. What else do we want to talk about?
Should we also touch on COP30?
COP30, yeah. My favourite thing about COP is that it's the same age as you.
Yeah.
I love that. Twins.
And it's always November, so it is on my birthday. So COP turned 30, I turned 30.
Big year.
Big year for those 30-year-old gals.
100%.
Me and COP. But it is sad to think, like, over the course of my lifetime, how much progress could have been made at those conferences, which sadly doesn't seem to have been. What are your reflections on Belém?
I mean, should we do a quick TLDR on COP30? So COP30, Conference of Parties, hosted by the UN. This year it's held in Belém in Brazil. And it brings together nations from across the world, along with businesses, different representation of communities and peoples and NGOs to discuss.
And the fossil fuel lobby.
Our favourite people. To talk about climate, to kind of do a bit of a stock take where we're at and how we're going to fix it.
Yeah.
My reflections on COP, I guess, I mean, just caveat, neither of us went. We were watching from afar. But I think going into it, my worry was that given it felt like climate was on a kind of knife edge in the public sphere of thought. And my worry was that if COP ended with chaos and disarray and no agreements, or there were some crazy headlines like we've had previously. I think it was it when it was in Azerbaijan and it was like fossil fuels are a gift from God. Like if that was the public narrative again, given that sustainability and climate just kind of isn't as positive in the public narrative as it has been previously, that it was just going to be seen as a farce. I think it didn't get that far. And, you know, while nothing majorly progressive came out of it, I don't think we've pushed forward drastically. I think there was consensus, there was agreement, it didn't end in chaos. And it, you know, is broadly seen as this, I mean...
It could have been worse.
It could have been worse.
But do you think we've had baseline shift then?
100%.
So if you think back to like COP26 when that was in Glasgow, that was such like a crescendo of like countries coming together and agreeing to take action. And I feel like Glasgow was probably the last year where COP was seen as like a positive, democratic, like negotiation, uninfluenced process. And then what we had, Dubai, Azerbaijan, Belém, all three of those to me have just been the lobbyists, the fossil fuel lobbyists, have got their little paws into the negotiation rooms.
I think they've always been there. Been there. And also the tide is turned like in their favour in terms of, you know, people not really wanting to spend loads of money on transitioning, and it's hard and it's expensive, and I think they're winning that battle at the moment.
Yeah. I just think we've like had such a baseline shift over the last couple of years of massive fossil fuel deals being done at the conference in Azerbaijan, and then in Dubai, that being like the biggest attended COP. But didn't they build this new stadium for it?
Honestly,
it's just like, has anyone calculated the carbon of these new buildings? That being a bit of a shiny COP, and they're also having that undercurrent of fossil fuel deals being done. So I think that was also the COP where it wasn't phase out, it was phase down. So they said they were going to like phase down use of fossil fuels rather than phase out, which was the wording of the agreement before.
And I was gonna, we still haven't seen this even last year. Even what year are we in now? Who knows? At COP30, you know, there was a push for a transition away from fossil fuel roadmap, and consensus wasn't made again.
And they're saying that is a voluntary roadmap.
Yeah.
And it's like, guys, we all agreed.
Also, it's not voluntary.
I know.
Like, this work is not voluntary.
Yeah.
So do you think failure? COP30?
I think the COP process needs a rejig.
Oh, 100%. It needs a huge overhaul.
Yeah.
Definitely. But I am very cautious that I think we need a space for multilateralism.
Yeah, very nice.
Fun word to get out.
Also, I don't know if I maybe get caught up in like some of the anti-COP reporting, but when you're seeing articles and it's, we are deforesting the Amazon to build new roads for COP. We are dredging the Amazon River to get cruise ships into Belém so that all of the delegates can stay. I just think, could this be virtual?
I think
should we all just get on a call? Do it virtually.
I think there is a lot of power in physically bringing people together.
I agree. Yeah, I agree.
think do businesses
not everyone needed to be
go
there.
To COP?
Yeah.
Maybe not.
Yeah.
I think like obviously country delegates very important.
Yeah.
Negotiations very important.
Yeah, agree.
Representatives from local communities, indigenous peoples very important. But do Shell need to be there? Maybe not. Do big organizations need to go? Like I think I would really, what working in the space last few years has made me think about is like we have had to think about like what is the purpose of us going, and I think if companies are really honest about that, I think there's definitely some like validity behind it. Is a really good space for organizations to meet and people to meet, but you need to fly to the Brazilian rainforest to do that? Maybe don't think so.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But we'll see what happens this year. Shall we talk about the buzzword of 2025?
Ooh.
AI. ChatGPT.
You love doing that impression of Boris Johnson.
It's just so fun.
I don't think I ever actually saw the original
interview
clip. Yeah, so do you want to explain?
I'll play it for you later.
Yeah.
He just did this interview with Boris Johnson. He's like, I love AI. And he sounds like AI. I watched the video. When I first watched the video, I thought it was AI, but he's like, I love AI. I love ChatGPT. And I'm like, how? Who? What? Why are you saying it like this? And it's just really funny. But outside of the humor, I feel like AI was all I heard about last year.
Yeah.
It was everywhere.
I really shut my AIs to AI. But I like have had conversations with friends and they're like, you need to get on the train. And I like see more uses for it now. I think the unknown like scared me a bit.
No, for sure. I think like it's not going anywhere.
Yeah.
I feel like maybe the doom is a bit overhyped. I feel like I don't know enough about it to like have a firm opinion, but I think with all of these things, like the catastrophic nature of like we're all gonna like be slaves to AI feels a bit extreme to me, but again, I don't know enough about it. I'm not like in the
I think it's just like the responsible use of it, isn't it? Like when you see the potential for it in like the medical field,
it's gonna revolutionize so many parts of society. Like it already is, and it will make certain things more productive. I think that's true. But it does have an environmental impact. And I think there's two things that came up a lot last year. One is the environmental impact of AI and data centers, and
apparently there was like more water use from the data centers that powered AI than like water bottles sold in the world.
Wow,
Isn't that
that's
crackers?
An incredible stat.
Yeah, don't quote me on that.
Probably true.
Yeah.
And I think the other thing was how AI is going to revolutionize sustainability and like the practice.
Yeah.
And like
we should
how
probably
it will
talk about
be used.
Nuclear reactors as well.
Ooh.
So obviously going back to our good friend Donald Trump, he launched Stargate. Did you see that? He basically was like, I'm going to put billions of dollars into AI. And I think he like committed maybe like 15 billion.
Throwing out.
But it was a lot. He put loads of money into it, and then they've started to build quite a lot of like small nuclear reactors.
Small modular reactors.
Yeah. But I'm just like, oh, are we going back to that being the source of energy that we should be relying on for things?
Yeah.
It is clean.
I think it has a place.
Yeah.
Like, renewables intermittent, everybody knows that. They're like not always consistent. Sun doesn't always shine, wind doesn't always blow, yada yada yada. And there is a place for like a baseline of energy that we need. And I think nuclear will fill a role in that. Do I think it's going to be the be all and end all and it's going to power everything? No.
Yeah.
Do I think that's the route should be going? Also no.
Yeah.
It's very expensive, but it has a place.
Yeah.
Is my take. And maybe for data centers and for AI, small modular nuclear reactors, AI, that is how we're going to power them. Like I don't know, because they are like the likes of, I think, is it Google, Meta, one of the big tech, what do they call them, hyperscalers, I love that word, has invested a lot in small modular nuclear reactors. So
I'm yet to be sold.
No.
Sorry, just another AI related spiral that I went down last year, like the skills aspect.
Oh yeah, this was a big spiral.
Like, guys, how are junior people going to develop if we just automate everyone's work? Like, I don't know. Again, if that's a bit of an oversimplification, but how, if you join a business, I feel like you learn the craft by doing some of the like monotonous work that can be automated. So if you're taking out that whole layer of development and learning that like could be done more efficiently, but it's a really good learning opportunity for junior people coming into businesses, how are they then going to get in? Like, it's kind of fine for everyone who's already got like X years of experience and like knows the practice, and then they like their work can be much more efficient. I get that. But then like, what's the door into these roles?
I would love to hear how people are using AI in their day-to-day or in their jobs. Because I feel like it's not something that I think maybe just because of where I'm at in my life and my generation, I think younger people adapt to technology much better than like there's like a sweet spot of age where you like, if new technology hits, you just like absorb it like a sponge, like social media. But I think it's just come at a point in my life where I'm so established in my routine that I can't really find a way to incorporate it into my life. So I'm really curious as to what people are doing.
I would say that like I'm giving boomer when it comes to AI, but the boomers love it. Like, my dad is using AI a lot.
Really?
Yeah.
Love that for him. He's just so progressive.
Yeah, and he was like,
he always has been, to be fair.
Yeah, he has been, to be fair. But he was like, you need to get on the AI train. And I was like, it scares me.
What have I used it for? I use it a little bit for job applications.
Nice.
But because like all of the like recruiters now screen CVs through AI, so like you use that to your advantage. But every time I use it for anything that I'm like, oh, maybe this would be helpful, I don't always find it that helpful. For like people have spoken to me about using it for like travel planning, like itinerary planning. Yeah. But it comes up with like,
it would be like, come to London and go to Leicester Square.
Yeah.
And you're like, that's like the shittest place to go to in this like amazing rich cultural city. And it would be like, go to M&M World at Leicester Square. And you'd be like, okay. But maybe that's because like as the prompt. I don't know. I do want to get better at it for sure.
I would like to do like a prompt course on how to like properly prompt AI.
Did you see the Ivy girls?
I love Ivy.
Yeah.
So they're a platform that help women get back into work after career breaks.
Yeah.
And it is an incredible tech platform.
And their LinkedIn is popping off.
Oh my God, it's amazing.
Yeah. But they were like, you need to upskill on AI, girl. And I was like, shit, yeah, I really do.
Oh my gosh. I think the other thing that we could talk is the CSRD omnibus, which is the European reporting framework. Jargon alarm.
No, that was the bus.
Oh, beep beep. Omnibus. I was
that
like,
was the omnibus.
Jargon alarm.
Yeah.
But I think we need a separate episode for this.
Yeah.
But just to shout it out as a spiral of 2025.
Yeah. That's what does a CSRD even stand for? Corporate Sustainability Reporting Disclosure? CSRD. If you work in sustainability, you will often have to do a CSRD disclosure in your annual report, which basically, I mean, what doesn't it cover now?
Well, I think like headlines, it was this revolutionary EU sustainability reporting disclosure. It was going to cover lots of the economy. They were going to have to report loads of stuff. And then there was an omnibus last year and it's kind of slimmed it down and reduced the scope.
What does omnibus mean?
I thought it meant an extended
I'm going to Google it.
Showing of soap operas on ITV.
Yeah. Define omnibus. Right. So Google says it's a noun. The definition 1 is a volume containing several books previously published separately. Okay, fine. So it's
Okay, that makes
basically been
sense.
like we publish loads of different disclosures and now we put it into one.
Yeah.
That makes sense. The second one is a bus. And then there are pictures of buses.
The
Hence the beep beep.
Beep beep.
Okay, fine. So that makes more sense to me now.
Okay.
I
think we
also
should...
was like, yeah, it's like Coronation Street
Yeah.
on a Sunday.
That's always what it makes me think of. And now I'm the other way. And Coronation Street Omnibus makes me think of CSRD Omnibus, and I can just never escape. But I think we will pause on that and come back.
Yeah.
And I think we need to pick up a little bit. And
let's look ahead.
Let's look ahead. And I think we should do the things that we want to bring in to 2025 and the things we want to throw out.
Ins and outs
for 2025. I'm not a big resolutions. That's a lie.
Yeah.
I'm a big resolutions girl. But this year is not a resolutions year for me. But ins and outs, I'm a big fan of.
Okay.
So one of my big ins for 2026 is... It's gonna sound so like fluffy, but the power of positivity. I'm a very positive person. Positive Polly.
Positive person, Potter.
Enunciate, darling. And I think that we, as a practice in sustainability, aren't always good at giving the positive message.
Yeah.
And I think I want to find the balance this year of talking about the wins. They do exist. We've done good things. Talk about the positivity of the future that we're trying to build, whilst also recognizing that there's a lot of work to do. And I want to bring that into 2026.
Yeah. We're just all feeling burnt out, though, aren't we?
I think we are.
Yeah. So out for me, burnout.
Amen. Amen, sis.
Yeah. I do agree. We need there needs to be a resurgence of the 2018-2019 golden era vibe.
100%.
Let's
Bring
ride
that
this wave
back.
up, baby.
What
we need is a World Cup, because that's really...
Well, there is a World Cup happening this year.
Oh, shit.
A football World Cup, isn't it? Football
It's in America.
America, Mexico, and Canada?
Oh, fair.
Yeah.
That's nice.
When I was in Toronto, they had a big countdown for it.
Oh, fun.
Yeah.
And there's a Winter Olympics. I love the Winter Olympics.
I love the Winter Olympics.
Yeah, so fun. I feel like that's really what made 2018 a good year. It was like the World Cup was on.
Yeah.
Everyone was using paper straws, and everyone was a little bit vegan, and it was good. So that's what we need. So ins, veganism.
World Cups.
Ins for me, Zach Polanski.
Oh, yes.
Great man.
Love him.
We will probably do a bigger episode.
We
on
will
Zach
100%
Polanski.
do an episode on Zach Polanski.
But contrary to what I just said about veganism, he did an op-ed, I think, the other day in the Times, and he was like, you don't need to not fly, not eat meat to care about the environment. And I think he's finally we finally have someone who's talking about the green agenda in a relatable way, where people are like, I care about this, but the systems around me are not set up for me to be able to make the big changes that I need to, and the government needs to step in and help with that. So shout out Zach Polanski.
Shout out Zach. So I'm excited for our Zach Polanski episode.
Yeah.
I'm such a fangirl. On a personal note, a personal in, I want to bring back, on that note, I suppose, vegetarianism. I kind of fell off the vegetarian bandwagon last year, I feel like lots of people did.
Yeah, you were such a good vegetarian.
I'm still pretty good. I don't really cook meat ever, but I've been eating a lot more meat when I go out.
What did we have for dinner last night?
Yeah, no, I know.
Love that. Out for me, climate denialism.
Hell yeah.
I just think the evidence is pretty clear. And what scares me about the current administration in the US is that you can literally see videos of things happening and they just twist it and are like, that didn't happen. And it's we've all seen videos from 5 different angles, and the line that's being told from the press team in the White House just denies it. And they obviously do that with a lot of social things, but they also do that with climate change. So I'm hopeful that climate denialism is out, but I don't
Maybe
know.
a bit more of an aspirational.
Yeah.
On that, aspirational out for 2026, Trump. in a democratic way.
In a democratic way.
In a democratic way. But that would be real nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think in the broader sustainability profession and in for 2026, which like I think is already here, but it's just going to get worse. AI. I just think we're going to it's going to be like non-stop AI chat.
Yeah.
Still.
Which could be really good. So the Energy Systems Catapult the other day, did you see that report?
No.
They published a report about the state of AI in relation to decarbonisation. And it was really interesting. Like they had a lot of really good proof points about where it can be used for amazing things, especially like heavy industry, flexibility on the grid, like smart charging of EVs and all that sort of stuff. And I feel like maybe we're now going to move past the like AI is so fun for like generating pictures of me as a Barbie doll to okay, like now let's actually apply this and like make it useful.
I really hope. All right, I'm gonna change mine a little bit. I really hope AI in for good reasons, and what I really hope is AI out on my Instagram Reels feed. I'm so sick of AI generated content.
Oh, are you getting it?
I really hope it's gone.
Yeah.
Even like they've obviously done this update where it translates videos. And
yeah, so weird.
Yeah,
I heard about that.
It's really freaky. So it will be like a video in Spanish, and the AI will like translate the video, but the person's face is changed, so it looks like they're speaking English, and it like the voice is very strange, and I really don't like it. So I hope AI in for good reasons and a responsible AI use in, and I hope AI out on my social media.
Yeah, Grok out.
Grok out, please.
I also just think Grok sounds like grog.
It's a silly name.
Yeah,
it's a silly name.
I mean, we can't even just go into that, but obviously just get that gone.
Yeah. What else? Other ins and outs. I think I said this last year. Connection and networking, in a professional sense.
Nice.
In for 2026. I think we talked about burnout. I think one of the things that I find most helpful is like chatting to other people working in the space or just generally in the space.
Yeah.
And being like, are you also finding this really hard? Yeah, me too. Okay, cool. I'm glad we're like on the same page. And then we're like, cool. It's like sustainability therapy.
Yeah.
That's what I like to call it. More sustainability therapy. More therapy.
More therapy in. I think for me, in like out green hushing from like a corporate perspective, and also like corporates having to deprioritize sustainability. Like I get it, it's tough out there, but having a sustainable business model is a better and more resilient business model. So my hope for an in for the year ahead is that the strategic element of sustainability starts to strengthen up again, and people kind of come out of like a bit more of the short-term thinking that we've been seeing from businesses and start to like see it as like a longevity strengthener 100%. And enabler. They're my hopes.
I like that.
Thanks.
I am feeling pretty positive about 2026, I have to say. I feel like maybe it's naive, but I do think 2026 is going to get better than 2025. I think like we've hit the pits. It's onwards and upwards from here.
Sometimes you got to hit the rock bottom to...
Sometimes you've got to spiral all the way down to the bottom to come back up.
To get back out of it. And a big in for us, the pod.
The pod.
Yeah,
huge in. I'm really excited about this for this year.
Yeah, me too.
And I hope everyone listening is too.
Stick around, guys.
Stick around. Like and subscribe. Yeah. I'm going to say that every episode. I suppose that's what you have to do as a podcast host.
Here we are.
But thanks for tuning in.
Thanks so much, guys. This has been quite a general chat, and going forward we'll do like more specific spirals.
I think it's going to be a real mix of content. I think it's nice to do these just kind of like more conversational chats. We'll do ones that are a bit more like technical and deep dives. Want a balance. Life's all about balance.
Also, I'm excited for when we can start doing Q&As.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
More to come.
More to come. We have many ideas brimming in our little brains. our big brains.
But it was nice to chat.
It was nice to chat on this very early Friday morning.
Yeah, I'm going to go have another coffee.
But thank you for listening. Keep tuned in for our next episodes. Like and subscribe, follow us. You find us wherever you get your favorite podcasts.
Yada, yada,
And
yada,
we
yada, yada.
are hopefully your new favorite podcast.
Yeah. Thanks so much, guys.
Thanks
We'll
so
see you
much.
next time.
We'll see you next time. And remember,
it's getting hot in here.
but not in a good way.
Yeah, baby. See you next week, guys.